Okay, so the last video discussed how to solve one- and two-step equations. Now we'll be solving multi-step equations, which means that there's more than one or two steps in order to solve an equation. And we'll do that by use of combining like terms and the distributive property. I want you to consider this. Jimmy the crook ran into a bank and stole a bunch of cash and bags of money. When he got into his getaway vehicle, he emptied his pockets and found all of the below items. How much money was in each bag if he stole a total of $201? Assume that each bag of money has the same amount of money in it. As you can see, here is Jimmy the crook. I think he looks very crook-like, absolutely. Okay, and here's all of his loot down here. I want you to pause the video in order to figure out, or in order to create an equation to solve for the amount of money in each bag of money. You can pause it now. Okay, so y'all, what you probably did is you probably combined these two bags of money and that one bag of money in order to create three bags of money, and you also combined all this cash together. Well, I'm going to step it through a little bit slower than that. I'm going to do it one step at a time. Okay, so suppose we had, let's write this, first let's define our variable. So B is going to be equal to a bag of money. Okay, so here we had 2B. And right here it looks like we had $12. And in this column we had $17. Then we had $1, one bag of money, and $6. And we knew that in all he stole $201. Since every bag of money has the same amount of money in it, let's combine this two bags of money with this one bag of money in order to get three bags of money. Notice we just added coefficients, two bag plus that phantom one bag of money. And then we'll add all of these together. And it looks like, let's see, see, 18 plus 17 plus 1, looks like we'll have $36. And in all, that's $201. Okay, so now we have a two-step equation. So we can solve that exactly the way we know how, by starting with adding the opposite of the addend to both sides of the equation. We're left with just three bags of money on the left side of the equation. And let's see, $165 on the right side. So now we don't care about three bags of money, we care about one bag of money. So let's multiply by the reciprocal of the coefficient to both sides of the equation. We're left with one bag of money is the same as 165 times 1/3, which should be $55. So that means in each bag of money, Jimmy the crook stole $55. Notice that the only difference between a two-step equation and a multi-step equation in this case was that we combined certain things together. Okay? Which brings me to the next thing. A term. Terms are anything separated by addition. So if you look at this example above, we have a bunch of things that are separated by addition. But remember that every time we have a subtraction sign, it's really just adding a negative. So go ahead and change that 12x minus 9 to 12x plus negative 9. Keep change flip. So if we define a term as anything separated by an addition sign, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms on the left side of the equation. And they are 3x 12x, negative 9, and 7. Okay, combining like terms means combining terms that that can be combined. Okay, so like terms are terms that have something in common. So for instance, here we have a 3x and a 12x, which is similar to 3 bags of money and 12 bags of money. So we can combine these together to make 15x, and then we can combine that negative 9 and the positive 7 in order to create negative 2. And notice that we did put it in this form of cx plus a equals s. So c being the coefficient is 15, x the variable, and a is the addend, which is negative 2, and 22 is the solution. Now if we wanted to solve this one, we would add the opposite of the addend. We get 24 is equal to 15x, and it looks like it's going to be a fraction when we figure it out. Multiply by the reciprocal of the coefficient. And x is equal to 24/15, which can be simplified to 8/5. Okay, another example. Let's combine like terms before solving. So we keep change, flip. We have 10 is equal to negative 6x, and negative 5x makes negative 11x. And 12 plus negative 3 would be 9. Now we just solve it like a two-step equation. Add the opposite of the addend. Multiply by the reciprocal of the coefficient. And we're left with x has to be equal to 1 over negative 11. Okay, this one's a little bit different. There are two ways to solve it. I'm going to show you the distributive property way, and that's how I want you to solve every other problem that looks like this, using the distributive property. So if we were to distribute this negative 5 across the 2x and the 7, we'd multiply negative 5 times 2 bags of money, which is negative 10x, and negative 5 times 7, which is negative 35. That all equals 10. Again, now we have a two-step equation. Add the opposite of the addend to both sides of the equation. So we have negative 10x is equal to 45. Now we multiply by the reciprocal of the coefficient. We're left with 1x. Again, multiplied by the reciprocal of the coefficient. The negative times a positive, so our answer will be negative 4 5/10. Okay, here's another one. In this case, we need to distribute the 4 across the 3 and the negative 2x. Keep change, flip. Most people make mistakes by not realizing that the negative 2x. So keep change, flip. So let's distribute the 4 across the 3 and the negative 2x. I'm going to rewrite 3x down here. 4 times 3 is 12. And 4 times negative 2x is negative 8x. Now, we don't have a two-step equation yet because we have to combine like terms. Let's combine this negative 8 and the 3x to make negative 5x. Add the opposite of the addend. and multiplied by the reciprocal of the coefficient. A negative times a negative is a positive, so our answer will be positive 4/5. And last but not least, this is another one that you have to pay attention to. It's easy to get tricked right here. This is not a positive 7. It's actually a negative 7. Keep, change, flip. Remember to do that every time. So we distribute the negative 7 across the 2x to make negative 14x, and the negative 7 across the 5 to make negative 35. Again, we have to combine like terms. Negative 35 plus 9 will land us at negative 26. Add the opposite of the addend. Negative 14x is equal to 34, multiplied by the reciprocal of the coefficient. We're left with x is equal to, let's see, negative 7. I'm simplifying early. (17) over negative 7. And that concludes this video. Please feel free to watch it as many times as you'd like. I'd like to see all these examples in your notes as well so that we can be productive tomorrow in class. Thank you very much.